Another great activity for your home kitchen and child education is food safety. So depending on how interested or afraid your kids might be of germs, you can get really deep into this or maybe just give a cursory glance over it. But basically, there's a lot of microbial life and bacteria that can exist on food and in a kitchen. And so there's a lot of things we can do to be safe with those organisms, right? And so Fight BAC it's like an initiative of the government actually for food safety, and especially geared towards teaching kids about fight back against bacteria. And so there's 4 areas about Fight BAC. The first is clean, separate, chill, and cook. And so each of these can get pretty into detail. Like if you want to get more into detail about clean, you can talk about washing your hands with water and soap and the amount of time, 20 seconds that you need to be washing your hands. If you're going to get more into detail about cook, you could look up the different temperatures for different meats, because chicken and ground beef and steak, they all have different internal temperatures they need to reach before they're considered safely cooked. And then chill, you can talk about the temperature that your freezer should be at or that your refrigerator should be at. There are different temperatures for both of those, and there's different amounts of times you can leave things outside of the fridge and the refrigerator and the freezer. So anyway, you can get very in-depth about these or just give a kind of cursory overview. Separate is the one that your kids might not understand quite as well. So a lot of kids understand that they need to wash their hands and that food needs to be kept in the fridge. But separate is a little less intuitive when you haven't really dealt with raw food before. So a lot of us who cook at home know that raw meat is dirty, right? It has a lot of bacteria on it, and so we are really good about washing our hands and washing the things that we use to deal with raw meat. But that's an important lesson to teach a kid, that if you were preparing a dinner and you were making some chicken and a salad, that it would never be a good idea to cut your chicken on the cutting board and then, without washing the cutting board, put a tomato on there and cut up a tomato for a salad, right? You want to use a different cutting board, or you want to cut the tomato first and then put the chicken on there. And so it's always really important to keep those things separated. That goes for not just cutting boards, but if you're putting the raw meat on another kind of plate or cooking it somewhere else, you don't want to cross-contaminate, is the technical term. You don't want to cross-contaminate with other raw vegetables or raw things that are not getting cooked. If you're going to cook potatoes and chicken together in the same pan, by all means you can use the same cutting board. And then a really fun thing that if you go on the Fight BAC website, it's just fightbac.org, they have this little cootie catcher that you can print out and make with your kids. It just has really, really corny jokes. Why did the milk like to hang out in the refrigerator? Because it was cool, right? So that's just a fun activity to get your kids engaged and understand some of the things behind Fight BAC.